Right, that seemed a lot of theory, right? It's time that we do some practical implementations and understand whatever concepts we have learned till now, because I always believe that practical implementations are better than theoretical knowledge, right? So let's get into on some hands-on coding, right? So let's try to convert a static web page into a dynamic web page. By now, I hope that a majority of us would be understanding how a web document or an HTML document is parsed into a DOM tree, and how the document object helps us to get access of the different nodes of the DOM tree, right? So we can see here that we have got an HTML document here, and it has already been parsed into a DOM tree. Let us try to display some static information here, like is Game of Thrones the best TV series ever, right? So it's just a piece of information that is just right there sitting on your HTML element, HTML screen. You can do nothing about it. It's as good as a PDF open on a browser, right? It's not interesting if you cannot do anything with your website, correct? So we can do anything with our website only if it is dynamic, right? So to make a website dynamic, as we have learned that the document or the DOM APIs help us a lot. So what did we learn? We learned that we have certain methods which the DOM API, the document interface provides us. So we'll concentrate on certain methods like creating an element. We'll try to allocate an element. We'll try to change the styling of an element, and we'll try to append that particular element that we have created back into this particular the web page. That will make it pretty dynamic, isn't it? We are transitioning from basically nothing to something. That's the layman term of dynamic, I guess, right? So what we'll create a button, right? So in that button we'll handle an click event. Seems like I have forgotten how to type. So let's say the click event's name is get ans, the button's name is get answer. Get answer button. I have forgotten to write button here. When we click on get button, we can do nothing, but there is a button that we can click, right? We'll give a horizontal tag here, and then we'll make a div. The div's ID will be something called learn, because we are learning JavaScript. We're learning basically DOM APIs right now. We close the div, and we see that the div, there is an empty div right here. There's nothing here, right? So we don't know if there is something here or not. So we'll get an answer if the Game of Thrones is the best TV series or not. And how will we get it? We'll create our own element. We'll attach this element into something that we have found on DOM, and then we'll try to manipulate the style of it. Okay, so we will make this function. So I hope that people who are watching this video have basic idea of what functions are. If not, you can go to W3 Schools and take a quick peek on it. In it, it's very easy. It's a basic building blocks of coding, right? Right. So what we will do is we will create a variable called span, and in that span we will create an actual HTML element, right? So for that we have got our document object, document document object, which helps us to create an element which is of span type. We'll create some text here. So the text will be, for me, it will be maybe Game of Thrones is the best TV series that I've ever seen. So they screwed up the last season, but yeah, that's some other thing. Append. So we are basically appending this particular text into this particular span. Span is an HTML tag. I guess we all know that. So we have appended here. When we click on this get answer, we still don't get this maybe, right? Because this span has not been appended into anything in this particular document, right? So what should we do here? either we can append it into the document, or we can append it into a particular HTML element or a DOM element. So we will try to locate this particular div. For that, we can create a constant called learn, and we will locate this particular div. How we will locate this? With our very own, very famous get element by ID. The ID is learn, and then we will try to append it. Learn dot append span. So when we try to click on it, we see that we get this particular text here, right here, appended inside this div. So if we inspect it, this particular element, right, we see that this particular span that we had created here has been appended in this particular div. This ID is learned. That's what we had intended to do, isn't it? Right. So as we said that we will create something, we will append something, we will locate something. Now we will change the style of that something, right? So we have already got the access of learn. So what we will do is we will access the style property of the node learn, and we will access the background color property. Background color spelling seems to be all right, and then we will change it to green. So if we click on this, it should be green now. Yeah, so it has become green. So you see that we have changed a static document with our functions and access to document elements and DOM APIs. We have changed the static web document into a dynamic web document. Right. Now that we have a better understanding after the practical implementation of the document object and the document interface and the DOM APIs, let us analyze the code a little more, because I guess we had analyzed it a lot during the we had analyzed a lot of it during the practical demonstration, but we'll see through it, right? So this was the document, the HTML document, which was passed into the tree, right? We talked about the DOM tree, correct? Now we have to connect this document with our JavaScript such that we can get access of this tree, this DOM tree, such that we can manipulate it. For that, we would need JavaScript, and in that JavaScript, we would need a function. In this function, as we said, that we will create an element, we will create a text node as we have created something. Then we will locate something, which is through get element by id. Then we will append something, which is append child or append, and then we will manipulate the styling, which we have done. We have got the division, which is this division, the learn division, and then we have changed that color to green. And finally, we change this particular text, which was only there during the static website, into this particular dynamic web page, right? That's how the document and the document APIs, the DOM APIs, help us to change a static website into a dynamic website. I hope by now we are quite clear on what is a static website, what is a dynamic website, and what is the job of JavaScript. That was our primary agenda, right? To understand what is the job of JavaScript. So now that we have understood what is the job of JavaScript, let us now understand about JavaScript itself. How does it work under the hood, right? So in the next videos, we will see how JavaScript is working under the hood. We will see about interpreters, compilers, JIT compilers, and whatnot. So till then, I hope that we have learned something and we have increased our learning curve.